Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Today, I want to present to you something that you may have not seen before. This is a little sketch I've come up with. But before I explain this, I want to just explain my experience that I've had over the past month making content and the experience I had just tonight. And it all ties back into this exact system. And what does this exact system tie into? Well, creating the physical reality that you want, achieving your goals, right? But let me first start with this story. So I first started posting on social media, like growing this actual personal brand, because I already posted a few videos on sales. And I first started posting on social media with the idea to, get followers, right? Get followers, get likes, maybe sell a program in the future. I'm still looking to probably do a program in the future, but not right now. But my main goal was like, get followers, right? So I first started posting and I was doing about 10 trial reels a day. Now, don't get me wrong, doing a lot of volume is perfectly fine. But I was doing all this volume, and I wouldn't have a break. I wouldn't take a break. I wouldn't stop. I would just be like, blah, 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 go, right? And what did this do? Well, it made my content feel forced. It all felt forced. All the things I was saying felt so forced. And maybe it's subconscious. Maybe you can't pick up on it, but you probably can pick up on it. You can kind of see, this kind of feels a bit fake, right? Like scroll down my channel, go down about a month or something, and you can see it feels kind of fake, doesn't feel very genuine. There's not much energy in it. And surprisingly, not my most recent, but one of my videos that did really well recently that got 300 followers from just the one video was after I had just had a break. I had just gone to the movies with my friends. And this other guy texted me on Instagram, my friend from high school, a few days ago. And he said, man, I saw one of your videos and I agree with all the stuff you're saying, but you have to make sure that you're having those breaks and you have to make sure what you're doing is fun and enjoyable and that you can relax while doing it. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to perform well. And I was like, I kind of disagreed. I was like, well, yes, I agree with that, but you also have to kind of work hard and stuff. But now that I think about it, that video that did really well came right after I had had a break, right? Right after I'd been to the movies. Even though in the video I was complaining about that I had been to the movies, it came right after I went to the movies. And before that, the other videos that I posted that got the most followers before that were right after I'd gone to the beach and hung out with my friend and socialized. The time before that, also right after I'd been to the beach. So it's almost like you take a break and then you come back to your work. You're more relaxed, you're more focused, and you're more ready to go. And how does that tie into my experience that I just had today? Well, I was driving back home from the beach, and in the last few days, I've got about 200 or 300 followers, just coming in, and it felt really good. It felt really good when I saw it on the screen. I was like, "Whoa, let's go!" I'd been waiting for that moment for a long time. I'd been posting heaps, and I'd be really excited to get some followers, and I finally got some followers, and then it felt great for 3 hours, and then I was just like, "Oh, now I need more. And that mindset, it's a mindset thing, right? Because it doesn't matter how many followers I keep getting, more and more followers. If I'm always operating from this place of, I need more, it's like a scarcity mindset, then you're going to be forcing things. You're not going to be taking breaks when you need to. You're not going to be relaxing when you need to. You're not going to be letting your central nervous system relax. You're just going to be forcing everything out. And how does that tie into directly today? Well, I just went into my shed and I was driving home from the beach. I was listening to some YouTube video about kind of some stuff like this. And I was thinking in my head, I was like, oh, the video that had done well previously, it was me kind of getting a bit more aggressive. Not aggressive, but just a bit more rah, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to go in the shed. I'm going to make one where it's rah. But the difference was the time I'd done that before, it wasn't forced. That was genuinely how I was feeling. But I tried to go in the shed. I was in a calm mood. I was like, all right, I'm going to amp myself up. I'm going to try and get aggressive and do a blah, 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 right? And I went in the shed, I did it, and the video was it was all right. I had to retake it a few times. Normally I don't have to retake a video, right? So that probably didn't help. But the video was it was all right. It wasn't anything special. But how did it leave me feeling afterwards? Just stressed out and shit, honestly. And it was a bit weird. I'd been in a calm mood. I got myself all amped up and all angry at nothing just so I could make this video. And afterwards I just felt this gross feeling. Because I was trying to chase the followers. I was like, okay, this video before had done well, and this is the mood I was talking in it. So I'm not in that mood now, but I'm gonna get myself into that mood on purpose so I can do another video that gets more followers. And that is the exact mindset that's going to lead you to burnout. It's going to lead you to make content that's not genuine. And in any creative endeavor, not just content, right? It's just going to lead you to not perform well. So the dude, Will, I won't say his last name, but Will, you're right, bro. You're right. You have to relax. You have to calm down. Otherwise, you're not going to do a good job. But when you're in those moods, when you're genuinely in a more amped up mood, sure, do it. But you have to have those moments to relax. And every time I've made a piece of content that performed well, it was literally like right after I had just taken a break. So yeah, I've just been down to the beach and now I'm coming back to make this video. Obviously, I made that video in the shed, but I'm not going to post it because it was trash and also it just didn't feel good in my heart. But anyway, my point is I've just had a break, so hopefully this one's going to be good too. So this is something I whipped up this morning. I went for a walk this morning and I had my morning coffee and I went for a walk and I was listening to like audiobook. And I came home and I was working on my laptop and I was doing something like I'm doing this PT certificate, right? So it was a bit boring what I was doing. I was just kind of doing it. And I was thinking in my head while I was doing it. And then this whole idea came to me because I've been thinking over for the last long time, like how do your thoughts form? Like, how do you create your reality based on your thoughts and blah, 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 blah. And the whole idea is that I've come up with here is let me cook because this isn't really my idea. I just kind of came up with it in my head and drew it out. But like once I kind of searched it up, I was like, oh, this is like an actual thing. Like this already exists. But let me cook regardless. So you have all these thoughts that come into your mind, right? Your mind is just a container for thoughts. And your mind is just a processing unit for energy, right? And what do I mean by that? Well, think about languages. Think about how many languages there are. There's like, I don't know, 100 languages or whatever. How many other languages there are? What does a language do? It labels things, right? It labels things. It labels external things, labels objects, whiteboard, eraser, jumper, right? But it also labels emotions. It labels feelings. It labels energy, right? When you're feeling sad and you start crying, right? You're taught in English, oh, sad, crying, upset, right? In another language, it might be a different thing, right? It might be a different word. But all these words are just labeling emotions. And the way you think in your mind is in a language, right? So when you have emotions, you make thoughts out of them. Because what are thoughts? Thoughts are words. So you have all this energy flying into you from physical reality, right? Obviously, like people telling you stuff, people yelling at you. Maybe you go somewhere and there's a fight and you're watching people fight and you're like, oh, you're getting all this energy. So all this energy flying around from the physical world. Then there's also all this energy flying around from like, unlimited consciousness. Like how do people come up with brand new ideas that have never been come up with before? Well, it's coming out of here, right? Because it can't be coming out of here because this is already all the ideas, right? This is already energy. This is new energy coming in, right? And then if you could add to this, you could add like, other dimensions if you believe in that, or like, demons and the devil and stuff. Like why does somebody commit terrible crimes? Well, because some energy is being inserted into their mind and they're interpreting it through their language and they're like, yeah, that's a good idea, right? But the idea to kill 1 million people in World War II didn't come from unlimited consciousness because this is just like pure love and like pure energy. Maybe it came from physical reality already, but it's probably from some like demon stuff, right? Anyway, so the whole idea is all this energy comes into your mind and it forms thoughts, right? Of course. But then you have all these thoughts every day, but you don't act on all the thoughts, right? You act on some of them, but you don't act on all of them. But, you know how it works, right? You're sitting there, a thought comes into your mind. Oh, okay, let's think about this. Let's say you're doing homework, right? You're doing something, you're writing a book, doing something you don't really want to do. Then you hear your phone ding on the other side of the room, and you're like, the thought comes into your mind. Go pick up your phone, right? Where's that energy coming from? That's trained energy from your central nervous system, which is coming from physical reality, right? Ding. Oh, dopamine surge. What's on my phone? Central nervous system is sending you this energy into your mind, right? Your brain is connected to your central nervous system. And then you're interpreting that through English, and it's saying, go pick up the phone, right? But you don't have to choose to do it. You can choose to keep working. So if you have two thoughts there, oh, go pick up the phone. Oh, but I should keep working. Ah, but go pick up the phone. But I should keep working. And then you have a third thought that comes in and says, no, we're going to do this. Like either, yeah, we're going to go pick up the phone, or no, we're not going to go pick up the phone. That's a third thought. But where the hell did that one come from? Right? Like, because you're not coming up with these thoughts, right? So who the hell decided to choose the thought, right? Where'd that come from? This guy. unlimited consciousness, unlimited intelligence, because this is part of you. This is part of you. This connects you. This sends energy into you as well, right? Everybody is a part of God, right? If you look at the Bible, if you look at other religious texts, if you look at esoteric stuff, I'm just going to call this God or unlimited consciousness, whatever. This is like God in the Bible, in other religions, right? Everyone has a part of God in them. And what does that mean? Well, it just means we're all part of this one unlimited consciousness, but it's just a little bit of it is in our mind and we're connecting to it, right? So, all right. So let's say you want to achieve a goal, because that's what we're doing here. This is what we want to do. We want to change physical reality and achieve our goals, right? That's the whole point. Otherwise, why the hell would we care about this, right? So there's all these thoughts flying into your mind, right? All these thoughts flying into your mind from different places, from your body, from outside, from unlimited conscious, from freaking devils, demons, whatever, from everywhere. It's flying around everywhere, crazy. And you're having all these thoughts every day. That's why you have so many, like thousands and thousands of thoughts every single day, right? So how do you know which ones to choose? Well, all you need to do is align yourself to the right energy. Because once you've aligned yourself to the right energy, let me draw. Let's say your goal is to have a house on the beach. Like that's your dream goal. You're like, yes, I want to have a house that it's like right on the beach. I can walk out of my house and go walk on the sand, and then I'm at the beach, right? And that's your goal, right? So let's say the energy you need to achieve that goal is over here, in this little section of the unlimited consciousness, because this here is unlimited opportunities, unlimited things you could do. You could have a skyscraper, like a apartment in New York over here, or you could have a little house in the desert, and that's going to be this energy, right? But anyway, you need to align to a certain energy, and then once these ideas and these thoughts start coming into your mind, who chooses to pick the thoughts? Well, combination of you. But how do you know to choose the right thoughts? Because you get this gut feeling, right? And how do you get that gut feeling? Consciousness. The direct consciousness that you align to is telling you which thoughts to take action on. Then you take action on those thoughts, like that. And then over time, you create physical reality, right? Cool. I think that makes sense. I think that's understandable. Because at the end of the day, physical reality is just like a manifestation of energy, right? Of frequency. So if you align yourself to a certain frequency, it wants to create its creation, unlimited consciousness, unlimited energy, love. It's all creating, it's creation, right? And it wants to manifest itself into reality. So once you align with a certain energy, it's automatically trying to create itself into the physical form, right? Makes sense. I think a lot of people can agree on that, right? So then the question is, well, how do you align yourself then? If you know this is the part you need to be at, right? This part here, this is your house on the beach, or maybe you want to be here if you want to live in New York, or maybe you want to be here if you want to be in the desert, right? But let's say you want to be here at the beach house. How do you get there, right? Well, I'll show you. I'll tell you right now. I'll also leave a document in the description of this video, a document that I made. I just made it for myself, but I just thought right now, I was like, I can just put it in the description. I made this for myself, but you guys can use it too. But pretty much, you're meditating on a feeling. And the feeling that you're meditating on is the feeling you get when you're in this new reality. So my goal right now, my 6 month to year goal timeline, it's up here on the board. You can't actually see it, but it says 10,000 followers, 10,000 a month from coaching, 1,000 YouTube subscribers, finish my uni degree, and finish my certificate 4 in fitness, right? So the main ones are the 10K followers, 10K followers, 10K a month on coaching, and 1,000 subs. But my whole idea is what is my goal? Where do I want to be, right? Because that's what we're talking about, physical things here, right? So my goal is in 6 months or a year time, I want to be sitting on the ledge of this villa. I've been to this villa in Koh Tao in Thailand, this island I really like. And I want to be sitting on the edge of that villa, staring out into the sunset, and I can look at my phone, I can be like, damn, we got 10K. I can look at my bank account, I can be like, damn, we made it, whatever. Obviously, we're going to keep going past that point, but that's my first level of making it, right? And that's the point I want to be at. So, how do I know what it feels like? Well, I have to sit there and I have to imagine it in my mind. I have to go to that place in my mind. And we all have an imagination, right? We can all come up with thoughts. So that's the beauty of it. So you sit there and you imagine it. You just sit there, you let your mind go quiet, and you just pretend you're in that place. And I'll tell you something else. I go out in my backyard and I have my wooden deck, right? And the wooden deck has a corner, right? And the corner is the same shape as the corner of the villa because I've already been to that villa. I know I want to go back to the same one. I've already been to that villa and it's the same shape. So I sit on the edge of my deck and I close my eyes and I imagine the edge of my deck is actually the edge of the villa. And I literally imagine myself being there. But we're not just imagining it to like picture in our head. We're imagining it because it's going to give us a certain feeling. We all have an imagination. We can all imagine something's real. So if you just sit there and you imagine it's real, it's going to start making you feel things. You're going to feel certain emotions. You're going to feel certain ways in your mind. It's going to bring you to a certain energy. It's going to bring you to a certain frequency. This one, for example. If you imagine yourself, you wake up in the morning, you look out the window and the sun is rising over the ocean, and you're sitting there in your beach house, right? And then you walk down the stairs, you pat your dog, and you open the door and you walk out into the sand, and you feel the cold air in your face, and you watch as the waves are lapping on the shore, and you think, wow, I've made it. I'm at my dream beach house, right? Well, you're going to be feeling this energy right here. And now that you're feeling that energy, now that you're in that state, your mind is automatically going to start choosing the right thoughts to take the right actions to form that reality, because this is what it wants to do. It wants to create itself into the physical reality. And I'm not just like making this up. This is obviously, I came up with this idea in my head, this map, and I wrote it out. But like, go search it up. This is a real thing. Like, people believe that this is true, and I believe it's true as well. And you should believe it's true too, because you're going to see in a 6 months time or a year, you're going to see me on Katao. And I already made a video. I made a video like on my phone, like recording myself, and I'm going to like chop it up when I'm actually at Katao. So it's going to be like sequencing between me and the ledge. And I'm going to like show that it's the same thing. It will be a cool video. But anyway, you should do this too. So how can you do it? Well, you can do it, try to do at least 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes when you wake up in the morning, maybe 10 minutes before you go to bed, or maybe 10 minutes in the middle of the day, whatever. Just as long as you can make sure you feel that feeling that you're going to feel when you reach your goal now, then you're aligned with the energy. And the whole idea is that you keep that alignment. You keep that same feeling. You keep that same energy. Because at the end of the day, your energy is going to be your intuition, which is going to tell you what thoughts to pick, which is going to form the physical reality. And that physical reality is based on the feelings that you felt when you imagined the physical reality, right? So that's the whole point. So sit there. Whatever your goal is, you can have any goal you want. That's just my goal for now, right? But you can have a big goal. If you want a big goal, go have a big goal. My next goal probably would be a house on the beach, but I just want to go for this Katao thing for now, right? But yeah, so sit there, close your eyes, imagine you've reached your goal, and then feel the feelings you feel when you're there. Not like, oh, I made it. I finally made it. Like, as if it was just like another day. Like, imagine it was just another day and you're living your dream life. And feel how it makes you feel. Like, really feel it inside you. And then sit with that energy and keep that energy with you. Because the idea is, if you can believe it, if you can feel it, if you can imagine it's true, you've already made it. You're already there. It's just time for your reality to catch up. So yeah, thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This is a more calm one. I did film a crazy one when I was yelling, but once again, I was forcing my energy. It wasn't really how I felt in the moment. So make sure you're feeling how you feel in the moment. You're always genuine about yourself, and make sure you are picturing your goal and remembering how you feel, and then carrying that feeling with you the whole day, because that feeling will guide you straight to your goal. So yeah, thank you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.